in your package today, there, first of all, is your in-class assignment. And this one is going to benefit you in terms of turning our boxes from our retail space into actual things, displays and so on. So the first one is a cantilever table. So you're going to see all about projecting this table out from the wall. Some of you do have this sort of the need for something like that in your store, so this might help you there. And also we do have a chair in our space. So this one is a stool. It's not the usual height though. The seat height, rather than 1.5 feet, it's at 2.5 feet. So it kind of helps you out in case you need a stool rather than just an ordinary chair. But if you do have kind of a fancy chair in your space, there's also this drawing, the second one, the round chair. And it'll help you out with transforming a box, that big square box, into something smaller and a different shape entirely. And then the third one is a desk. Now, you may not have a desk in your space, but you may have something that you want to have that's not just a square slab, but it has large and small squares to make it up. And this will show you how to do that, and how to put things on top in perspective as well. So that'll go rather quickly. There's not a lot to this, but it's very important stuff. So take your time with it and follow along and do your best with that. I've done them on what would be for you a half a sheet of your cartridge paper. So if you fold that cartridge paper in half, you can do one sheet will take up 2 of these, and then another half sheet for the next part. So you'll take up 1.5 sheets of cartridge paper with these drawings. Then the assignment that goes along with our project is this one. It's drawing a chair, but it's a different method. We've looked at several different methods now. We've drawn it most recently on a grid. We've done an estimated perspective using vanishing points and an eye level. But in this case, you make a tiny diagram first, and you are examining what the angles should look like when you do draw your chair freehand. And what you're doing when you make the larger drawing is just trying to match these angles by eye. So you don't have a vanishing point. And this is really helpful because there'll be many cases where you want to draw something large, but if you go and map it out the way we normally do in 2-point perspective, your vanishing points have to be very far apart. So it limits you in terms of how big you can draw something. But if you're able to make a tiny diagram to find out the angles and then draw from that onto a larger, to make a larger version, it's a lot easier to do. And it's very helpful. You learn quite a lot doing it. And then we're going to refine it in a line drawing, put a piece of marker paper over top and refine it, and put some hatching in. Hatching is just vertical lines where the shadows are. And then you can either color it with colored markers or with gray markers. I've put the pictures down here so you can see. This is this one. Spend time on it though. This again is another exercise that's going to help you turn the boxes in your store into what you want them to be. So that's our focus this week. And don't forget to do the little floor plan, and when you render it, include the little floor plan as well, and the more complex shadow. For our makeup assignment, it's all about lighting and how to light things, because we are going to need to light our store and put map shadows for everything. So it's going to prepare you for that part of it. So these I did on what would be a 1/4 sheet of cartridge paper for you. You can do that, or you can use a half if you like, lighting from the front, the back, and the center. Okay, so it starts with this side lighting, then the front lighting, so the light is in front. Remember that you'll see that. By the time you're finished with these, you'll see that the light source itself is above. So that gives us a really nice work in terms of tonal values, because the top planes are always the lightest. The front plane that isn't in shadow is the most colorful and least bleached out, because it's oblique to the light. It doesn't face the light, but it's getting light. And then the shadow is the darkest, and that holds your form together. Sort of front lighting from the side is ideal, but the light itself is above. You have to always remember the light is above. Here the lighting is from the side, so you have somewhat the same situation, but really this is in shadow, which isn't really ideal. This is ideal, the side lighting. But then you also have lighting from the back, which can be quite dramatic, because you've got these great giant shadows that leap out at you at the start rather than behind or at the side. So it's very dramatic. And then there's light from the middle, which is most common, and you'll see that it distributes shadows all around the room. For this, you have to stop and make this drawing. So do it on half a sheet of cartridge paper. So I'm hoping everyone will do this, because this is really going to help with our lighting.